This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome to Dr. TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello, and a warm welcome to my Guru Tululu, BV Subbarao Garu, and Dr. Emmanuel S. Kumar, who has been the hero of our last show on sports medicine. Sir, welcome to this show. And as promised by my Guru Tululu, he wanted to bring Professor Syed Ibrahim. He is another sports personality. The title will be from Bashir Bagh to Saudi Arabia, King Fahd University, and my Guru Tulilo will narrate how a sports person, believing in sports, believing in his physical health, which gives him the enormous mental strength, can migrate. So we have been discussing how sports is so important for one's grooming. Sports is an integral part of day-to-day life. Like you eat, you drink, you sleep, you read and write, your academics, education, sports is also, and it plays a major role. And sports is health, sports is life. So in this series, we are going to come up with the other episode. Yes, Subbarao.
Uh, it's my pleasure and honor to invite Dr. Professor Syed Ibrahim, Dr. Emmanuel S. Kumar, and my friend Dr. Swami Dr. Shiprasad Reddy. Particularly today, our special speaker is Professor Syed Ibrahim, who had a long innings in the field of sports. And we know each other, fortunately, for the last 50 years, half a century. I think 71 we stepped in. The most, you know, thing once you look at Syed Ibrahim, particularly people like me who knows him, he consistently sustained his urge and commitment for the field of sports and simultaneously sustained both physical and mental urge. He has not changed a bit in the physical features. What was Syed Ibrahim in 71? Just maybe a 5% change in the physical. So he is the man who practices what he preaches. And to my knowledge, is highly disciplined personality I came across in the field of sports. ना चाय पीता ना सिनेमा देखता and he hails from a noble family which contributed an Olympian in 1952 Olympics from Hyderabad. Probably that might have inspired him, motivated him to sustain his burning urge to learn, experience, and move on with new interventions. Dr. Syed Ibrahim, he started his career in the field of sports, athletics particularly. And he started 200 and 400 meters. If I am not wrong, you can correct Dr. Syed Ibrahim.
Yeah, you're right. Even the 100 meters
Uh,
also.
100 meters, but no, I have seen you, but 200 and 400 I saw more
Of
frequently.
course, that's right.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah. So you started your career in 200 and 400. under the leadership and guidance of late Keshav Reddy garu in those days. And then you also participated in the Durgapur National Athletics competitions. I think that was the first your entry into the national interstate
No, it was
athletic
in
competition.
the earlier 1970.
70. Oh, Kottayam.
Me and Dr. Emmanuel Kumar,
National
we
Games.
both were national games at Cuttack,
Okay, national
1970.
games at Qatar, national games at, but this is interstate athletic meet, no, 70
Exactly.
Of
Yes.
course, that is true.
So that's games and this is the sports and athletics and
Yeah,
all.
you're right.
So, and this interstate athletic competitions at the national level, I think that was a beginning of a new era in the field of athletics, both in communications, infrastructure, management, organization, what I felt that. And I think it was late David was the main communications in charge in that particular. He was a boxer actually, and a great
Yeah,
known film actor also, the short
that's true.
man from West Bengal. So your journey started with that, and then you moved to football for some time in the beginning, and football became the core area of your specialization.
That's true.
And you also gone through NIS. Dr. Syed Ibrahim, he did his doctorate under Professor Hashim Saab, what we call. If I'm wrong, you can correct me.
You're right.
Right? Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Still, I
yes,
remember
right.
that noble personality passed away some 4 or 5 years back, I think, Dr. Hashim.
4 years back.
Yeah, yeah, 2 years back and all. He is well known with his, lighter moods in the university, cutting jokes and all things. So, Dr. Syed Ibrahim, apart from the basic, qualifications and all, he gained, professional certificates in 6 disciplines, and he was also officiated 8 disciplines in the Asian Games and part of the Beijing Olympics and pre-Olympics. Beijing Olympics opened up a new era in the field of sports, particularly bringing green infrastructure to the sports, where environment management was in toto implemented. He started his professional career in the University, Osmania University, and held several positions, even the administrative staff college, that which conducts the training programs, the refresher training programs. He was also in charge for that for quite some time. And a great transformation happened. He was invited by the Universities Authorities of King Fahad, University of Petroleum and Minerals in Saudi Arabia, and he contributed there for 14 long years. That's a great contribution by Professor Syed Ibrahim. To his credit, his passion for teaching and research continued, and published almost 65 research papers, and he was adjudged as the best teacher at both in Usmania University and in Fahad University of Petroleum and Engineering. That was his great, and he was you know, he was highly respected and regarded for his professional contributions. And I see a glimpses of our late coach Keshav Reddy in Syed Ibrahim, where my Keshav Reddy used to tell about the interdisciplinary sports medicine, sports psychology, all those things. And Professor Syed Ibrahim intervened in all these fields: sports psychology, exercise physiology, I'm sorry, exercise physiology was there, and sports injuries and rehabilitation. It's not only you treat an injury, but how do you rehabilitate the person to the maximum possible level, fitness level, is a big challenge. He himself is a trained physiotherapist, and now he gained one more feather to his cap. He also mastered in acupuncture. That is his latest, addition to his career. So, with this, you know, expressions, it's my great pleasure and honor to welcome Professor Syed Ibrahim. I have few uh, slides to show. Before that, uh, can you make me the presenter, please? Can you see the screen, please? Hello.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
It's suitable.
it is Syed Ibrahim in ISSP 14th World Congress, Sevilla 2017, and some of his contributions at the sports science and computer science, and he also holds several positions in the professional bodies that includes the sports computers computer application of computers in sports arena. I think it is established in Hyderabad itself, and then
Yeah,
SPO workshop, recent trends in sports. You can find him anywhere in the field of sports, right from physiology to injury to medicine to psychology to acupuncture and rehabilitation. So, with these few words, uh, I thank and I once again invite my good old friend. Okay. So, I invite Dr. Ibrahim to, you know,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
address the flow. Address the flow, please.
So thank you very, very, very much, Subbarao Garu. At the
Yes, sir.
outset, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Yes,
Please go ahead.
At the outset, basically, I thank the DRTSPR channel for inviting me to be a part of their program. I'm really honored to be here today, and I thank Dr. Siva Prasad Reddy, who had this vision to start this channel to inculcate physical education, fitness, and the advancement of sports education for the society. I thank you, Doctor, for your kindness. Thank you very much. And
Thank you so
I'll
much.
be failing in my duty if I don't thank two of my greatest colleagues who were with me, Dr. Subbarao, whom you know it pretty well,
Thank you, sir.
how he has, I mean, taken his lifelong journey. I cannot forget him in my life. One. The second person is Dr. Emmanuel Kumar. You know, Dr. Emmanuel Kumar is such a personality in physical education. When I was teaching in Osmania University, I used to give example as a model physical educationist because to deal with such students in Hyderabad public school where the students are or the wards are from the parents of big ministers, chief ministers, and others. It is the highly difficult aspect, but they used to shiver him. Even the minister's son, they used to shiver him. That was the hole he had on the students and in the department of physical education. I used to always quote him whenever I teach my students. So he's such a personality. Nobody can forget in the field or in the arena of physical education. So these two personalities, when they are with you in this channel, I think the channel will definitely prosper in the coming. I can say in future. It's one of the greatest. I can say people who can make this channel popularize. So, Dr. Shiv Prasad Reddy, you have rightly, chosen such personalities. I thank you for that, and I thank Dr. Subbarao Garu for giving a detailed, what I can say, resume about myself. I really thank you very, very much. And I start giving a small, resume about, how I started, as you said, from Bashir Bagh. We call it as the band lines, the old army lines where my father used to work. From there to King Fahad University. It is a story from rags to riches. Of course, as Dr. Subbarao quoted, I belong to a family where sports was a part of, in the family, it was running in the family. My cousin brother, Mr. Abdul Salam, was an Olympian. He participated in the 1956 Olympic Games, where India reached fourth position in football, the highest position ever achieved by a football team in India, apart from participating in Asian Games and other things. So he was one of the greatest motivator for me. Plus, my own brothers, two of my brothers were football coaches. They worked. One worked in the Sports Authority, the other he was in the Road Transport Corporation. But still, that was where my family had the sports, background. But I started whenever we used to pass. I was in St. Peter's High School, one of the schools which was managed by the Montfort brothers. It was below All Saints. Now All Saints has taken over that. So I belong to that school. So we used to pass through the Fatehmaidan. Earlier it was called as Fatehmaidan, and I was a witness to the construction of the Lal Bahadur Stadium. It was constructing. It was up coming up. So whenever we used to pass, we used to see the stadium construction. That apart, in our locality, we had a space where we used to play with a small tennis ball. We used to play football. That was how we started. And later on, when the stadium was constructed, I started, I mean, uh, to participate. The first time I participated in the state athletic meet at Lal Bahadur Stadium, it was in around 1970s, where I got a position in the long jump, and that's how I could. managed to be a part of the team for the national games. Dr. Emmanuel Shashi Kumar was also a part of the team. So we started from 1970, our association in 1970 at Cuttack, the national games. So that really motivated me. And then I started because my house was just opposite to the Lal Bahadur Stadium. So that's how, apart from the family background and the stadium being very close to me, so that has motivated and made my interest to go up to start practicing. And when we started, it was Mr. Keshav Reddy, the renowned athletic coach who has produced all of us, Dr. Emmanuel Shishikuma, Mr. Subarao. We were all trained under him. Yet, come upon, he was a part of the Sports Authority of Andhra Pradesh, and he had taken training in the GDR, and he has freshly come to the stadium. So we could find the training methods what GDR has adopted. He adopted here in the Lal Bahadur Stadium, and that's the reason how he could produce many national, international champions. Nobody can deny his contribution in producing great athletes. So we were under a part of that. That part when I also happened to participate in the 1970 National School Games at Trivandrum, and I was in the St. Peter's High School in the 10th standard. I finished, and education I was not lagging behind because I should not tell, but it's a part of my career that I in 1970 when the SSC examinations were held, they were very strictly followed. Earlier, it was the Telangana agitation, and people used to have mass copying. But in 1970, when the examinations were held, it was so strict. Even they used to see the clothes, everything. And many of the schools they had zero result, and our school had 90% result. And I should not tell, I was placed 36th rank in the state, the 10th examination. So that's how my academics and sports. But later on, I did my, what again, intermediate from Alia Junior College, and I participated in sports in the state meets. I happened to participate in the nationals. Then I later on moved to Nizam College. I did my BSc from Nizam College, and from Nizam College, I happened to participate in the inter-university competitions. I think I participated three times, and the fourth time I think I participated when I was a student in the bachelor course in physical education. So I happened to have four, inter-university athletic meets. And the first inter-university athletic meet when I participated in the Durgapur Nationals interstate athletic meet, where Dr. Subbarao was also a part of the team. He knows it. I happened to win a gold medal in the 300 meters run in juniors. And from there, me and some of the participants, they moved to the inter-university, which was held in Ahmedabad. So that's how I could gain experience and interest. And after coming back from the inter-university athletic meet, my cousin brother, Mr. Abdul Salam, who is no more, he was a role model for many of the footballers. He was a strict. I started the game of football. He said, please come, you have very good speed and everything, you can be a good footballer. So I moved on to football. And incidentally, after maybe 6 or 8 months, or maybe a year, I don't remember, there was a selection for the inter-university football team for Osmani University, and Mr. Abdul Salam was the coach of the team. So I happened to participate in the selections. Before the selection, Mr. Abdul Salam, because he happened to be my cousin brother, he called me at home and he said, "Listen, we are selecting 16 players, and don't think that I am your cousin brother. Never think that. If within the 16 players you happen to have your, what I can call it as, you have the skill and other things, I will select you. If they are in the reserves, I will drop you. Please remember this. And afterwards, don't tell me that you're my brother, you didn't help me. No way." So that's how he was, I should say, very strict, every aspect. And incidentally, what happened was that I got selected. I played in the 11, and we had inter-university South Zone competition in Hyderabad. In Usmania University, we hosted. We won South Zone championship, and we went to the All India, but we could not get a place in the All India because we were placed, I think, fourth or fifth. So this is how he motivated. He was such a, strict disciplinarian that 7 o'clock was the time to start the practice section. Even if you come 1 minute late, you have to stand outside. And we used to get punishment of 25 rounds around the football field. Whoever it may be, me or somebody, anybody, even a national, international player, if he comes late, he has to stand outside. And then he used to get the punishment and come back. So that
Yes,
has
sir.
created a discipline. Yes, sir.
Dr. Syed Ibrahim. I was just connecting myself to your transformations from one field to the other.
Yeah.
And you have clearly mentioned that your athletic skills, running, stamina, and other things, agility, was identified by your brother who was a football player and invited you to the football game. Similarly, I used to watch your interest in the physiotherapy right from the day one. And we had a very great physiotherapist in Lal Bahadur Stadium who was almost 6.5 feet height and hefty figure. After retirement, he was associated with the Nizam Club for some time.
Yes.
So, did he make any influence on you on the physiotherapy and the tips of physiotherapy?
Yes, Mr. Sabaro, you're very, right. Whenever I, after transforming myself as a physical educationist, qualifying myself as a football coach, and being my master's in physical education from Bangalore University, I used to be regularly coming for practice at Nizam College, at Lal Bahadur Stadium. And Mr. Muhammad Ghausuddin, the ace physiotherapist,
Yes.
he was very much, I was very much interested, and he motivated me to be a physiotherapist. He trained me, basically, I should say that. And, he had such a tag on him that people used to say he has eyes in his fingers.
Yes.
He used to use only three fingers. Any kind of pain, any kind of injury, within 3 sessions, used to go out. I remember pretty well. He used to tell about one of the two or three incidents, such incidents that one was regarding the shot putter Bahadur Singh. He won two
Oh,
Asian gold medals, and then the third he was not able to participate because he had knee problem, and he came to Dr. Gausuddin, and he treated him, and then he participated in the third Asian and he won the gold.
oh,
That's how people used to say he had fingers in his eyes. Sorry, eyes in his fingers. So that is how the transformation. I was also interested in the treatment of injuries, so I could transformed myself as a small, not a big one, as a physiotherapist. Later on, I did a certificate course from the Lakshmi Bai National College of Physical Education in physiotherapy.
Okay.
That's how
By any
it is his influence.
Yeah, thank you. Uh, by any chance, did you meet Dr. Rangareddy Bokal, doctor? Keshav Reddy was introducing most of us to Dr.
Of course,
Rangareddy in Nizam Medical College.
yeah, yeah,
Hospital.
yes, definitely. I mean, you pretty well remember even Dr. Emmanuel Shashikumar was mentioning about three or four such personalities I mean, who were, I mean, associated when we were training.
Yes,
That we
yes.
had the sports medicine conference, Dr. K.
Yeah,
Reddy conducted. Then the lady sports psychologist,
yeah.
and then the transcendental meditation.
Yes.
Then the fourth man, Dr. Rangareddy. I
And the
happened to
fifth,
meet him.
okay. The fifth incident, I still remember that somebody introduced some nutrition biscuits during that period.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
of
yeah,
the
pretty well.
yeah
Because
one of the athletes, Surinder Singh, high jumper, he suddenly put on lot of
yes,
weight, maybe because of less
wait.
physical activity, or maybe his laziness. But that was the fifth thing which was introduced, the nutrition biscuits. That was an experiment
Yeah, I
actually.
pretty well remember that. Yeah, pretty well remember. They used to give us biscuits and other things, various other nutrition aspect to all the athletes. Yes,
Yeah, that was the thing. And
it was called as I mean, where we had Indo-German, something
Indo-GDR,
that, where,
Indo-GDR,
yeah, Indo-GDR, yes,
Indo-GDR club,
Indo-GDR
Indo-GDR club and all.
club,
They
yeah.
used to
So they used
do
to,
that and
I
all.
mean, take the, I mean, participant from this, from our club, and then,
Your
yeah, that was,
research,
you're very right.
we were interacting during your research time period also. Where your research was largely focused on the performance index of the athletes, I think,
Yes,
under
yes, Doctor. Yeah.
yeah,
Mostly the research was performance oriented. Apart
yeah,
from, a few
performance.
of the research, yeah, uh, few of the research on obesity and uh, lean body mass, underweight, what we call it. So these are the two main areas. Apart from the performance, we concentrated when I was in KFUPM, that is King Fahad University, on the overweight, that is obesity,
No, no,
because obesity was
I'm just
70%.
referring. I'm just referring to your own research in at Usmania University, where you were
Of
trying
course,
to performance in parameters and the statistical analysis. You were at the
you're very right.
beginning of your research.
You're very right, because in Usman University, of course, we started research at a very, I mean, low level. We did not have the much needed, labs and other things. Even the research was not much encouraged in the department, but still,
Oh,
done research on the performance of athletes. And my PhD was also based on the performance of the, university. I prepared a norm for the fitness norms for the university students, taking the athletes from almost all the universities in the state and tried to frame a standardized norm for athletic performance. So that
thank
was
you.
my contribution to the, I mean, research in Osmania University on the performance of the athletes.
I hope Usmania is carrying out encouraging such research even now. And did you participate in the Chinese Olympics at the Chinese from India?
Of
Or
course, that was the beginning point of the research, mostly in our state. Mr. Emmanuel, Dr. Emmanuel Shashikumar was also a part of the team. We went as a team, maybe
oh,
around 15 people. We took
mhm,
them to the pre-Olympic Science Congress in Beijing.
yeah,
Actually, sports congress was held in Nanjing, the earlier capital of China, and from there we move on to the Beijing Olympics. We could witness almost all the games, almost all the games when we were in Beijing. And you pretty well remember. I remember one of the incident. Dr. Emmanuel Kumar will also recall that on the opening day in Beijing, throughout Beijing it was raining, except the nest where the opening
Yeah.
ceremony was held. They burst out shells, thousands of shells, to break the cloud at the nest only. But everywhere it was raining. So that's I still remember that incident. So we had taken a team, and it was full, experience for all the physical education, and it is that place where we started the computer, uh, uh, the Indian Federation of Computer Science in Physical Education.
Oh, it's
That
almost
happened to be the starting point.
so it's almost after more than 2 decades. 72 Olympics was
Of
the
course.
where Flasbury she introduced the computers and brought out Flasbury flop through computer application and all. And after that, you came back and you were in charge for the administrative staff college of Usmania University to looking after the refresher courses and all. Okay. So during that period in China, you had the opportunity of interacting with the members of King Fahad University.
Yes, Doctor. Basically, before I left to the Beijing Olympics, I had interview with the King Fahad University, and even during the pre-Olympic games, Congress and the Olympics, I had interaction with the King Fahad University for a position in their university. Of course, I do agree with that it was the starting point. I communicated with the King Fahad University to join them. Basically, I was a professor at that time, and they did not have any position of professor in King Fahad, and I have to go as a lecturer there. But
Okay.
later on, I happened to show my acumen, and then I got promotion as a assistant professor and other things. That's a different
Oh.
story. But you're right that
But
it was
yeah, yeah, looking at your professional profile, uh, I see you have contributed a wider spectrum, consolidating all your experiences during your stay in Fahad University. I think Fahad University gave a very open hand to you and an encouraged because all your experiences of football, physiotherapy, injuries, research, teaching, everything got at one place. Hope I am correct
yes,
in this, my analysis.
Doctor, you're very right, because when I just left Usman University and joined King Fahad, I could see the transformation, because King Fahad University of Petroleum and Minerals is the only university in the Gulf which makes physical education mandatory for all its students for the first 4 years. It is a compulsory mandatory subject. 15 weeks they have, every student has to undergo 2 hours of physical education classes every week. We
Great.
have, yes, and it was mandated because if, even we had examination, we used to allot marks. Without passing the physical education course, they will not get their degree. And apart from that, they used to encourage the faculty to do research. Every year we can participate in 3 international conferences presenting the papers. Everything is borne by the university, all expenses. So that was a big opening where we could do much research, and we had projects. I have never heard about the projects in Usman University, but when I went there, we can take projects, 3 projects every year you can take. And it was funded projects. So you can imagine how the encouragement in research. and apart from the teaching, teaching was very compulsory in King Fahad University. The chairman used to give the, what you can call it as the timetable, and there was no monitoring. We used to go in time, take the class in time, leave the class in time, because the chairman doesn't have much hold over that, but the students have. If a teacher doesn't turn up within 10 minutes, the student will disperse and complain to the rector. Rector is the highest position, like vice chancellor, and the teacher is taken for the task. So you can imagine the discipline we had in teaching, and even the teaching was monitored by different,
It's true.
faculties. So that is how the transformation in research, in teaching, made a big impact for me in the 13, 14 years I stayed in King Fahad University. I happened to visit or happened to present papers in three Olympics: Beijing, then London Olympics, and Rio Olympics.
Rio.
Pre-Olympic Congress, I could attend and present the papers only because not the first one, the next two were funded by the King Fahad University. Apart from attending many world conferences, almost Europe, I could visit because every year three conferences. You can imagine. One in the paper presentation, second in your research. If you have completed a research, you will go another conference, and if you have published three papers in the ISI journals, you can go for the third conference. So it was a competition to do much research and also be a very good teacher, because even the teacher was evaluated by the student at the end of the class. So you used to get excellent, and like that, down, like that. Teacher, definitely excellent. That's
What I
how
feel is,
King Fahd University.
yeah, you had a great
Yes,
innings in
please.
the King Fahd University, and where you can experiment yourself and look into different arenas, opportunities in widening the sports subject. And I wish that people like you should start making attempts to influence the uh, governments, universities, in bringing a change in the attitude of uh, physical education. So we look forward for your, same zeal and commitment uh, in making attempts to change, and we are all with you in this. And before, and I invite Dr. Emmanuel. I think this is the time where Emmanuel and yourself were also interacting each other to build some more initiatives at the international arena. Dr. Emmanuel, you can free to interact with Dr. Ibrahim.
Thank you, Professor Ibrahim, and I thank and I'm grateful to Professor Ibrahim for putting me on the path to international level and given exposure to various sports sciences where I could learn much more just because of his motivation and his guidance. I'm very much thankful to you, sir, Professor Ibrahim sir, for his kind words which he has enlightened regarding me during my service. He is one of the stalwarts. What you just missed out or you have skipped, Professor Subbarao, and just briefing just for a minute. See, in the field of physical education, in particular sports sciences, he had a great journey throughout his life, committed to sports and sports sciences, and possesses tons and tons of experience in the field. I'm very proud to have that great personality into this debate. Under his guidance, many have become doctorates or presently at good elevated positions, principals, administrators, and one of his students has also had the honor of being the vice chancellor of one of the universities in Telangana. They have come up in their career just because of Professor Ibrahim's guidance and his motivation, not only at national university level, even at international level. And I'm proud to say that he made a platform for the sports sciences and allied subjects in our country. What all the organizations which are being running now, the show, the foundation, the stage Syed Ibrahim has laid, sports seminars, workshops, many are just because of guidance and his efforts to build them up. And they have doing very well, and drastically they have come up and serving the field of sports and mainly towards sports sciences. In this regard, what I feel the need of the day is to enlighten the people more of scientific methods, systematic sports training is need of the day, which is lacking. Such personalities like Syed Ibrahim, if they are exposed to more debates and taking his advice or suggestions, would go a long way in making sports fitness to a greater extent. This is my observation, and this is what I feel is the need of the day where we are lacking. Many people who are handling the major positions at the elite through different sports organizations, they're not much aware of the many basic or scientific or systematic things. Experts like Syed Ibrahim should be able to guide them through proper platform or through proper channels to uplift the standards, not only to excel in sports, for the general fitness and to change their lifestyle for good health and fitness. This is my observation, and I think Professor Subbarao will agree with me.
No, no, it's a total, later part, you people moved very close, and I could see, I could track you, both of you, at the international arena. And as you rightly pointed out, you know, it's our third phase, I think, where we need to, uh, we learned from Keshav Reddy Garu, and then we moved on in a different fields. But at the end of the day, again, we have come back collectively with a lot of individual and collective knowledge and experience. And you have rightly pointed out that it's time for us to create new platforms to spread this growing field, which is much neglected, ignored in this country at all different levels. And let's hope for the best and do. There are two things. Dr. Ibrahim, please unmute your mic. Unmute your mic, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. I say, uh, parallelly, we are also working on promoting the basic sciences
Yes,
among the
please.
society. I think your basic understanding of undergraduate level sciences. You are a biological sciences student, biology, zoology, and chemistry. And
Yes, that's true.
you used to tell me that in the physical education system you are also taught on the skeleton, okay,
Yes.
joints,
Yes.
movement, and all that.
Yeah. You're
So
right.
you are a proud case of, most of the colleges are closing down the biological sciences. Biological sciences, has varied applied aspects. You are the classical example of a biological student excelling in the sports arena. That is because of, your science
Your
background,
background.
sports sciences. uh,
No doubt
i
about it.
think I think that's my observation.
You're right,
Your
doctor, because because of the science background, what I studied in the graduation level, I could pick up the anatomy, physiology, and various aspects very fast. Otherwise, we had students who were from commerce and from arts, which and they faced a lot of difficulty in expressing the terminology and other things. It's difficult because when you start as an arts and a commerce student, it is really difficult to know the names of the bones and other things, joints and other things, and understand the anatomy and physiology. It's really difficult. You can agree with me, and I agree
Yeah.
with you. What you said is absolutely right.
No, no,
My science
what
background helped me to prosper.
I wish and propose you actually also to address the uh, degree colleges, inspire the science students that they need not get disappointed with BSc and then all other things. This is one area we are trying, because today the younger generation in the country is largely trapped under the Google Mata.
It is very right, doctor. You're right,
So
because you can see even a small child, he takes the mobile and goes on to the cartoon and then starts eating. It is such a media that that it has taken out everything out, and time. Even when I was in the King Fahd, I just take 1 minute.
yeah,
Can I
please,
take
sir.
1 minute, please?
No, no, please, please.
When I was in King Fahd University, when they come to the class, students are sitting side by side. They are least bothered to speak, socialize. No way. They're on the mobile. Even 2 minutes they get, they are on the mobile. The socializing has gone. Earlier, we used to sit, chat, speak, have fun. It's gone. Every time you get a spare time, they are in the mobile. You go anywhere, in the classroom, in the airport, anywhere in the office, everywhere, it is the mobile. I don't know what happens. It is the greatest thing for communication, greatest, but it is the worst thing for the health. It has
Yeah,
spoiled the
that
health of almost all the people. When you see a mobile at this angle, almost you go down, it is a 60-degree angle. And we have what we call as a text neck. We carry 27 kg of weight on your spine at 60 degree. And when you come to the 0 degree, even at 0 degree, you're 4 kg of weight. Can you imagine? And that's the reason why you get spondylitis of the cervical and lumbar, because when you sit on the chair, you don't put a pillow or something resting your back. You need to pull your chair inside and rest your back. The backrest is for that. So people get lumbar spondylitis. And I had a research project on the IT professionals.
oh
And we could, yes, in one of these papers we had research. And we did a research on the IT professionals, and we could find that 90% of them, they suffer from cervical and lumbar spondylitis, apart from losing the eyesight.
yeah.
So this is
One thing,
what you said.
yeah, one point you missed actually. You have seen
Yeah,
zero
please.
degree and 60 degree mobile reading.
Yeah.
But in India we have mobile with bike reading. वो
Uh-huh.
यूं रख के गाड़ी चलाते हैं. They
I
will
didn't,
have
I
a
didn't look
different.
at
No, no, no. You must take up a research project. People, they keep the mobile and drive the two wheelers. Neck is on one
that.
side.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
in a
Definitely.
lighter vein, in a lighter
Yeah,
vein, I say Darwin theory is whichever the organ you use very actively, it
yeah,
becomes.
it loses the, yes, overuse.
No, if you don't use it, it loses. If you overuse it, that
It is
becomes your
gone.
project. Main. So next generation will born like this or like this. But
With all, yeah, of course.
another
Physical
thing,
deformities.
which started during Keshav Reddy's period was uh, there was a reservation for students coming from medical colleges in the Ludhiana, I mean, the National Sports Council, actually.
NIS.
NIS. In the
Yeah,
NIS, for the
very nice.
students coming from medical colleges, they had that.
Yeah.
Could it pick up that pace? Medicos coming into the physical education in a long way.
I think it is a, I mean, a question mark which we need to deliberate on that, and
Yeah,
then find ways and means how we can
because
motivate them to be a part of the sports. Because,
sports,
of course, in European countries, most of them they are.
in, you have in European countries, in North America, mostly
Yeah, yeah,
specialized
yeah.
doctors are associated with the sport.
Yes, specialized
Unfortunately,
doctors, and then they have clinical, I mean, trials, clinical, I mean, research, clinical.
yeah.
They can do it in the lab, and then
So what is missing in India is the kind of medical science and the medical subject as well did not get integrated with the sports. So sports injuries are still a disaster in this country, actually. If you remember when we went to Tenali, uh, I think Emmanuel was there, and high
state
jump.
meet.
Yeah, instead of the mattresses, they have kept all banana leaves,
Yeah,
bunch of banana leaves. I don't know with
those days.
खुदा so we all live and survive with God's blessing. Another final thing which I felt, which I learned, enjoyed in my life was, though my association was something like 4 years active in Fatehmaidan, Lal Bahadur Stadium. Apart from my primary and my schooling, I enjoyed the great spirit of socializing and social harmony in Fatehmaidan, which today I see totally missing in the younger generation. So we all came from different social backgrounds. No ego, nothing. We were all friends. And we are continuing with the same spirit even after 50 years. That is what the sports arena provided. That I'm proud of it, actually. That kind of a social integration, social
Right.
harmony. Any
Yes.
comments on this, sir?
Basically, I should say you're very right. I know, right, when you were in the, I mean, sports with your academics, I think that was the, whenever you used to be there in the stadium, used to create such a, I mean, situation that everybody used to be, you were just like a magnet, attracting people for, I mean, being together after the training session. We enjoyed, And I still remember during the summer, you used to get this, laddus, of what do you call it, and the,
Ragi laddu.
I, yeah, we used to enjoy that. He was such, and I think that was the starting point for you to be an environmentalist. And later on, you have now you're a world-renowned environmentalist, looking after people. I should really say that you have transformed much of the things, because I used to happen to hear to your lectures many times. It was so convincing regarding the environment, and we need such an environment, as you say, sports environment.
We
Apart
had
from
great
your,
people.
other,
Yeah, so,
you're right.
largely I look at the Hyderabad's harmony in sports.
Yeah.
Hyderabad produced footballers, Hyderabad produced hockey players, several things,
Yes, you're
and
right.
uh, and people were celebrating the festivals, with a common spirit.
It's sports. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the thing. And a few words from Dr. Emmanuel, I say.
I think you have covered most of the things. Only regarding socialization through sports, as Ibrahim and yourself are well aware that Olympic, what we say, motto or the theme, no color, no caste or creed, no religion, and no reservations. The platform is same for everyone. That is the Olympic, we can say, trend or the main aspect that has to be inculcated into each and everyone in the society, so that there won't be any disparity whether the upper, middle, or lower, rich, or poor. That's what my feeling is.
No, no,
Yes.
that it's not the feeling, but what I feel is that should be the real gut, the
Exactly,
real
which is not
message,
there
the
mostly in our
uh,
country.
now, now, but we all enjoyed that. We all enjoyed,
Yes,
we all
exactly,
enjoyed
which is not
in
there
those days.
now.
It's slowly dwindling, slowly,
Ex-
rapidly dwindling. I say rapidly, it's going away.
For example, you
It's
take all the allied sports,
yeah.
take badminton, for example, uh, tennis, cricket. Who goes to those activities? Mostly allied of the society.
You're right. You're
What
right,
I
sir.
feel, it has to be, I
You
mean,
see the
generalized
beauty, yeah,
and
the
equal
beauty of
opportunity for each and everyone. Am I
yes.
correct, Ibrahim sir?
You're very right, sir. Absolutely. It's a cakewalk for people for cricket, badminton, and tennis. Why? Because, if you look at the scenario, you can find that even a small match is, when relayed in the television, it becomes more popularity. People try to see more, and they try to follow that only. But other games, they are getting a step motherly treatment. So one
Yeah,
more
we
point
have
I
to
just want to, just
please,
share,
I
sir,
agree with
if you'd give me
please,
I
one
agree
minute.
with you.
and please,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
Uh, the fact is, at the grassroots level, what are our physical educationists doing? I think we are churning out some of the physical educationists only just to have a job. They are not sincere to the job. I should blame myself, and also our, what I can call profession. Our profession is looked down. It is in the lowest rung. Why? Because of us. We are not sincere. If we work 50% of what we are supposed to do, I think it should be the greatest contribution of every physical education. So first we need to clean that grassroots level. How we can clean is a question mark. The people who are working, we need to train them, because most of the people, they are, posted here, there, they are from other places. They don't go, they go once in a week, sign. This is not a physical education. So we need to clean ourselves first, to be sincere to what we are getting. We should earn. We should not simply take the money. So that is the, most important point I would like to say. Clean, like, in Urdu we call it what is called, when you take out the sand, uh, uh, barik chali, moti channi, barik chali. Put the sand in the first big one, then small one, and final one you take to construct. So to clean, that is, I think, a very important point. Which I think how we can deal with that, how we can point it out, put into the government and the profession is a question mark for discussion. I think that would be important.
Yeah, yeah.
Clean
I would
the
like to
waste,
share.
get
I
new.
would. I think some network problem with you. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, please.
I would like to share one thing with you people is this is the problem with most of the professions, particularly this education system and teachers. We have launched a networking of secondary and higher school teachers in Telangana, and we are conducting on teaching methodologies and what is environment, how you look environment in social sciences, how you look environment in mathematics, that kind of a thing, so that the teachers uh, sitting at their home can learn the things. And I propose to both of you that we should also plan for some kind of a network of the physical directors or you know in the school teachers, create a platform and then start you know talking to them. And yes, it is your self pride. And I always fight with the authorities when I was associated with the CRT. I said, this is one is the drill master, other one is the arts teacher. These two are stopgap arrangements. Whenever science teacher doesn't come, he has to go and sit there, or else keep the students in discipline.
Class.
Yeah.
They are
So
substitutes, doctor. They are
yes, sir.
substitutes.
Yeah. So what we need to do is, to bring some kind of inculcate the confidence among this community. That's one part of it. That's what I felt, and definitely, please, sir.
Regarding this, I mean, with our able guidance of Professor Ibrahim and through your channel, through your organization, we should conduct some one day or half a day workshops, seminars, which Ibrahim is doing at international level, which will go a long way in educating the physical educationists and motivating them and encouraging them to do justice to this profession.
Yeah,
And one more
I can.
thing,
Uh,
last one,
please,
please. Last one.
please.
I think, can I share an example of, uh, as everyone knows, Serena Williams and Serena Williams
Sisters.
sisters, how they have excelled in tennis. What was their background? You all know. Such things are, have to come up in our country also. They are alike, though from a different background. I think which will go a long way in
Yeah,
exposing
I feel. Yeah, please. Sorry.
exposing all the events to each and everyone. That's my feeling. Please.
Yeah, one thing I feel very sad sometimes, I was fortunate to interact with a weightlifting coach when I was doing my masters. I was in those days, it is only either the facts or the letter, and whatever the inputs he used to give me, and I continued his guidance, taking his guidance even when I was in IIT Bombay. I see I remember after the All India weightlifting competitions, I came out, and my Coach Yadgiri, Ibrahim knows him.
Also
Coach
know.
Yadgiri called me
From
and
AV
said,
College, Harmam Shala.
yes, yes. He called me and said, Subbarao, what is your next thing? I said, my results, and I want to. He said, why don't you continue weightlifting? And I could understand his pain in those days. So I went to a couple of weightlifting. Most of those weightlifting, even now in Nampally and others, even in Boinpalli cantonment area, they are in such a worst condition. You have tempered rods, you have wooden platforms, huh? And the first medal which we got in the Olympics is individual was only weightlifting. And the pathetic conditions in Srikakulam, Nizamabad, and there is no science, no infrastructure, nothing. So we need to look into these things, and we should make all our attempts to bring a change in the system. And once again, I thank Dr. Professor Syed Ibrahim and Dr. Emmanuel S. Kumar, Dr. Shivaprasad Reddy Swami.
Yeah.
So I was only talking about the pathetic condition of my favorite sport now in weightlifting, which is in pathetic condition, sir,
Right.
Ibrahim ji. So we should also make a serious attempt to reach out to the sports teachers,
Right, sir.
and I try my level best to how I can get the support for this, and
Right, sir.
we will meet. Thank you so much, Swami,
Right. Right,
Dr.
Swamiji.
Shiv Prasad Reddy. Thanks to everybody, and a
Yeah.
few
This
closing
is
remarks from
Yeah, yeah. This
Swami.
is for today because I'm not going to have many remarks because we have gone beyond the timeline. It's already one and a
Okay,
half hours, so I don't want to put the viewers into because such a useful discussion on sports from Bashir Bagh to King Fahd College in Saudi
University.
Arabia, university in Saudi Arabia, the Olympics in between, so the state, national, international sports events all have been put together for discussion today so that it will generate interest. Again, let me only reiterate as a doctor into journalism, sports should be integral part of your life. Sports should not just be an of academic interest because with sports you can live. How you can live? By having health, proper health. The COVID-19 example, people were running helter skelter for oxygen. When you are healthy, that means you run around, you play around, you have lot of oxygen in your body. So that is how you breathe out. Your excretory functions of your body also will start functioning when you have all this play around, running around. That means sports. So sports can be of health, of life, and sports can generate income not just in Hyderabad, but it can take you to Saudi Arabia. And in between, you can always be an international sports advisor or sports personality or contributing to international movements, whether it is Olympic or Asian Games. So everything is there, but at the same time, this should be part and parcel of the academics, whether it is schools or colleges. There should be a perceptible change in the thinking lines of all those politicians and administrators and their propped up media too. Even the other media, general media too, should make it a point that just not 2K runs, 3K runs, but daily you need to have those runs in your mind so that it will become part of your curriculum. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll love to
Thank you,
host
sir.
regular series once again stating that every college, every school, every university should have sports as an integral part of the academic activity. Otherwise, you can never groom a brilliant student into a healthy citizen. We need
Thank you.
academicians as well as healthy citizens. Only then this state or country will prosper. Let's leave it to you. Thanks a lot. Take care
Okay. Namaste. Namaste.
and do support DRTSPR
Thank you very
channels,
much.
DRTSPR channel and environment people, DRTSPR channels, larger public. Bye, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.